to why marriages are falling apart.
Well, I guess what I see is because of board and money. So I guess we got to up our money and entertain y'all a little more. That's the reason why y'all walking away. I'm just going by what I'm seeing. Like I'm just trying to just I can't go on. I can't just base it. I'm just going off what everybody keeping records of. I just can't go off and just say, oh, the man. I'm going by what records say. I can't go by a feeling. I got to go by records.
Okay. Thanks, Toro. Um, what's up, Cutler?
Messy with the yeah, I mean, you were asking him the question in terms of like, do black men take accountability in terms of like what the declining marriage rates are? I mean, I would just say it's more so like, black men, if you cannot make her orgasm every like half hour, then she's not happy. So therefore that just means that, you're not happy, and therefore you should go live your best life, sis. Like, so I would say that that's kind of like what's happening in terms of what's going on with the declining marriage rates. I'm on.
Okay, so far we don't really have too much accountability from y'all. Um, so can you answer the room title?
I don't like see that's the thing. I disagree with it because I definitely think black men take accountability a way lot more than our counterparts do. I think that we're kind of born taking accountability. When we're born, we're automatically assumed to be like, the men that are supposed to take over things and supposed to do everything that the man that our moms left, didn't do. We're supposed to do all of that. Husband sons and son husbands are a real thing in the black community, and I think that like black men are now waking up to the fact that it's all a scam, and kind of seeing that it's not us that don't take accountability, it's more so the women in our community that don't take accountability. So I think that that's more so what the discussion should be. But hey, I mean, I'm here to speak to the title.
Hey, he cleared that up real good. That's how I was trying to say it, but hey, it ain't come out the way it was supposed to. But he hit it right on the nail right there.
That's
Uh,
interesting.
That was a
can I?
rusty ass nail. I ain't okay.
I have a question about the title. What do you mean accountability for what exactly though? Can you be more specific, please, man?
Sure. I mean, this can go a lot of different ways. We could talk about accountability for yourself as an individual. We could talk about accountability as far as where the Black community is as a collective. We could talk about accountability as far as leadership or lack thereof. Accountability as far as the chasm that we have amongst Black men and Black women. I'd like to leave this title up to interpretation, or like what you think of when you look at.
Hello, am I in?
Yeah.
Oh, I
I,
was trying to let everybody say what they had to say before I could take the floor. But I mean, well, if I could get on there and say my piece, I think it's on both sides, especially if we talking relationship wise. But I say it all fell to pieces traditionally over a few decades. You know what I mean? Because it seems us as black people, as far as like the 40s, 50s, and 60s, technically we had to stick together. You know what I'm saying? And everything changed around the 80s, 90s, and of course 2000s. 2000s is just wow right now. So I mean that has to do with the accountability too, because it was like we had more togetherness back then, and now it's like it's kind of like a free fall. You know what I mean? Everybody's getting their independence, everyone's getting their freedom, and with that, I feel like it's just everybody's going out for a free for all. Like, I mean, you see how the women are on IG, you see how the dudes are on IG, and it's like they're all fed an illusion anyway. You know what I'm saying? 90% of what we see here, especially in America, that shit's all an illusion. Is anybody listening to me, or am I talking to myself?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I had something.
Oh,
I had something I had wanted to say too.
So,
Oh, chime in at
so
any
let's
time.
allow.
Chime in.
So, George, I have a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
Um, so what accountability do Black men have in reference to all of those things that you named, if any at
Oh, but see, that's what I'm saying. From that time that I mentioned all the way up to now, that's the structure. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel we had way more structure because we had a lot to fight for and a lot to live for. Not that we don't have a lot to fight for now and a lot to live for now. It was just that whole structure and togetherness was a different time. You know what I mean?
mind if I answer the question?
Sure.
So, I think the question Messi asked, correct me if I'm wrong, was what accountability do black men have in terms of the structure of family?
Oh yeah, but I'm saying if the structure's already been broken, it's like a DNA. You know how you see the symbol of DNA? It's like a twisted ladder. It's like that whole structure has been broken down. You know what I mean? So it's like generation. Like I said, there's been a few generation gaps, like a few decades, where if that structure wasn't already implemented in that household and that structure's already been broken down, it's like a juvenile. Like if that kid wasn't corrected as a kid to grow up, then that kid's not gonna know how to be a man, whether he was taught by his mom or he was taught by his dad. You know what I mean? Because most of the time we follow what we were taught as a youngster coming up into adulthood.
I think in my point of view, it would be that like in those days, black men knowing that our women are the best women ever, we've always bowed down to our women, and I think that that's been our biggest mistake, right? Because we've always been the ones to say the woman is the one who does it, like she takes care of the kids and things like that, but yet here we are, we're still busting our ass, but we got to give everything to the woman. And I think that's been our mistake. I think that
I
we've centered the black woman very
see that's
much,
go ahead,
and
go ahead.
that's been the problem. Like it's almost like black fathers don't matter. It's like black men don't matter. So therefore, like we've centered the woman because like that's what we do. Like we love our women. That's one thing that can't be, debunked, debate.
What have we gave them? Because we ain't had shit to give them. So what are
Oh
y'all
yeah, but
talking
see
about?
that's what I'm saying, where the structure had got broken down
No, I
financially.
get I
Like,
get what you're saying, but you're there's a question in play, right? It's about
yeah.
accountability, and you just saying what happened.
Oh
Where's
no,
the
no, that's
accountability?
leading up. It's gonna lead
Okay,
up to
okay,
my
so
answer.
we've been waiting. That's kind of what I'm
Oh,
waiting for you
okay.
to get to. Who is the accountability fall on?
Oh no, but it
I
has.
get the structure is failed, and if we're
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
white people, I agree with you. But okay, cool. But if the question is, okay, where does black men take accountability? That's what I'm waiting to hear from what you're coming from. But the other young man who made the statement about we're centering black women and we give them all we got, we ain't got shit to give them. What are y'all
Oh yeah,
talking
but
about?
then I gotta go back into
But
that
I
too. Hold up,
disagree
could I
with
tap into that?
that. I disagree with that statement.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
what do we
absolutely
have?
do.
And
We
don't
can
give me
have.
this. Don't
Hold
give me
on.
this.
Like,
Can I
Don't
tap
give
let
into
me
me
that?
answer
this.
you. Let me answer
Don't
you.
give me this anecdotal experience of what you have. We're
Not
talking
about
about
that.
black people as a whole. What do we have?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
talking on the
So
broad
we're
spectrum.
so we're talking about black people in America, right?
Yeah.
In America, who has the most voice, the biggest voice when it comes to black issues? It's not a black man. It's definitely a black woman. So therefore, black women have the media operation going for them in
Who
full
gave them
effect.
that power?
Who gave them that power? It
Yes.
wasn't us. It wasn't black
Thank
men
you.
that did that. It
It
wasn't
Nah,
wasn't.
black.
it
So
wasn't
you
the black
again,
men.
So
you
so
made
so
the
but
statement that black men centered black women too much because we gave them
no,
all
no,
we
we
had. So again,
allowed
I
it.
ask you,
We allowed it. You understand what I'm saying? Like we didn't step up and say,
we
"Hey, you know
allowed
what?
it?
Yeah, we
Nah, I know
did.
what he's
We
saying.
did.
He's being
The silent
misunderstood. Could I?
generation allowed it. The baby boomers
Yeah.
allowed it. They didn't step up and say, "Yo, okay, yes, we love our women, but we as black men need to speak on what it is that our issues are also. We need to
True.
speak on what it is that we have going on in our family structure and what it is that we are facing as far as issues when it comes to our women. We did not have no sort of media operation to do so. So black women got that. Like the liberal media is full of black women talking their woes
Cutler
about
has a
being
point.
black
You right
women.
about that.
So
Cutler
like,
has a point.
this
Cutler,
isn't something that, this isn't something that just happened overnight. This is something that happened over years. But
Yeah,
this
that's
was
what
a
I'm
whole
saying. It's
generation. The
generations,
whole
decades.
generation.
Yeah, it's generations
I'm
and decades.
Cutler has a point, and I'm beginning to believe. Hold on a second. Damn it.
Oh, but could I hop in there real quick for my man that said that they allowed it? Like I understood what he was saying because a part of that, traditionally, our women were submissive, but it was like men weren't holding up their end of the bargain. You know what I mean? So after that goes through, like I said, and just like my man just said, it didn't happen overnight. It took generations and decades for that shit to happen. And once it finally happened, everybody has their breaking point, and it just so happened that the women had their breaking point. They were tired of, either being abused or used because, like you said, the black woman is the most loving woman on the planet. She gonna come to you with open arms.
There we
So
go.
here,
It took a
uh,
long time.
No, but it had to lead up to this, brother, because
I
it
know,
didn't
I
just
know,
happen
I get it,
overnight, like
but
my man
but
said.
but
so
it's still you still kind of skipped over it. Like if you wasn't listening really, really
Nah,
close.
I
No, no,
didn't
no.
skip.
I'm
I just
saying,
said generations.
bro.
I
I'm
would.
saying from the outside looking
Oh,
in. If you wasn't listening really close, you missed how you just basically said, "This is men's fault. This
Well,
is our fault."
no,
let me
That's it.
it's a
Listen, let
double
me.
edged
I'd like
hold
to,
sword.
on.
I'd
No,
like
I
to
Okay,
wouldn't
jump
okay.
say
in.
it's our
Again,
fault.
Darius,
No, sir.
I'd
let
like
me
to
just
jump
combat
in
what Darius is
when
saying
I
because
get a chance.
I mean, yeah, I was trying
I
to
get what
explain it, but
Darius
y'all
is
gonna
saying.
keep cutting me off and over talking me, so I
Nah,
can't
Yeah,
do that.
and
nah.
if you guys could please, right? So I have the replays on, and I actually would like to keep the replays on for this. Now, if it gets too bad, whereas though it's no point in keeping it on, I won't keep it on. But I made this room because I actually want to hear the men speak. And ladies, I do want for y'all to just pay attention. I know it's kind of hard to, but just pay attention. I'm only going to have male mods. The men that are moderating are men that I do find to be sound men, at least on this app that I can see. So I won't be modding any ladies. Um, but I do want to, make sure that people can
Where's
actually
my mom?
hear. I do want to hear. Sorry, brother Kendrick, you got a little way to go, and then you're gonna be good. Um, I do want for people to be able to click on this replay and actually hear. So if you could please one at a time. I think that it's Darius and George that are having the dialogue. So if it could just be them two, and then Cutler, if you got to jump in, you can. We're not doing a queue, free flowing conversation only. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just wanted to jump in here. I'm getting tired of this, um, fetish with black women wanting to hold black men accountable. Haven't we been through enough? I just don't get it. I'm beginning to believe that black women are sabotaging black men, and I don't know what the motive is. I think we have to discover what the motive is.
It's the
You know,
Karens and the
like
gentrification.
we have to discover who is this. Because I remember when when I first got on the app, right? You know, I had a little soft side for women, like when you think about the struggles for women's rights, from Sojourner Truth to Angela Davis when she separated from the Black Liberation Army and went or the Black Panther Party and went um, with the Communist Party for what we ask, you know, because of her gender identification, or maybe they weren't focused on her politics as much as she would like, and then you think about what that does to black people as a whole, right? It dismantles what they're fighting for, and when we add all this intersectionality to this greater fight of
Yes,
racism, right? So
yes.
so so I'm all for the fight for women empowerment, because women are subjugated throughout the world. Women are still being trafficked, and sold into slavery, FGM. It's a real crisis for women. However, why y'all pointing at us?
So,
I mean,
Mando, I'd
like
like to know.
we black too, aren't we? Come
Yes,
on.
Mando,
Question
I'd like
for
to
men.
know. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Cutler. I'd like to note that I actually got this room title from King Los. Um, and I thought that it was a great room that he had. And it was titled, Why Don't Black Women Take Accountability? Women Speak. And I went in there, I stayed in there for about 45 minutes. I actually got an opportunity to speak and not have a battle with him back and forth. And I wasn't talking to him, I was talking to other people. But I actually, in my True Nature spinoff. So, one of the things that I want to note is that there has been yet a black man to come up here and take any
We're
accountability.
on number 4. I'm just
I
keeping
already
track.
took
I'm keeping
accountability. You
wait.
wait a
I'm
Who made
minute.
keeping
the
track
And
of
I'm
the
about to let
niggas who
Darius rock.
speak.
I'm about to let Darius rock, and then but I want to note that it took another man to kind of get you there. And it took a very long time for him to get you there. But sorry, go
You
ahead,
shouldn't
Darius.
even
I'm listening.
Oh
said
no,
no.
I'm
You
just
should have
saying
went.
I'm keeping track. We're now at the 4th person to speak and blame women in a room talking about men and accountability.
I didn't
But go
blame
ahead, y'all
anyone.
got it.
So,
Oh,
I
this
took
easy.
accountability.
well,
I
No,
what
said
did
the
he
we
most
say?
we
recent.
have
No,
nothing to be
yeah,
accountable for.
so
Okay.
You
All
Darius,
right,
understand?
cool.
what do
So
you think?
We
million dollar
as
Darius,
question.
black
what do you think
men,
Here's the
that black?
million
as
dollar
black
question.
men.
Here's the
What
million
do
dollar question. I want you to read the it says, why don't black men take accountability? Question mark.
Yes.
Men speak. Your answer is we don't have nothing to be accountable for. Why the fuck are you here?
I didn't say that.
To to to
I'm
to
talking to the
to,
person who just said
Oh,
we ain't got nothing to be
to let
accountable
the
for.
top left know that this is disgusting. It's outrageous. It's just reinforcing stereotypes of that black men just are these thugs running around who just don't give a fuck about life or whatever. This what this
You
means.
got
I
all that
see.
from that
I
question.
see what
nah,
you're
You
doing
bro.
got
there.
You missed the
all
Darius,
that
point.
from that
Nobody
the
question.
said that.
question,
Yeah.
Darius. You're not
That's
You
fine.
got
tired.
all that from
Hey,
that
y'all
question.
niggas gotta stop being so defensive, bro.
You're
It's a
not
simple
tired, Darius.
question.
Yeah.
But you
God
gotta ask
damn.
which man's taking
Can
accountability
I
No, no,
because
say
there is some
something?
men's
I was
out here
talking
taking
specifically to
accountability
him.
now.
I was listen, y'all don't get
There's
offended,
some
don't get triggered.
Y'all
accountability
gonna
out
let
here
me
now.
finish.
I
All
was
right.
talking
So
specifically to him.
Y'all
better
But
gonna let
we're
me
on,
question.
finish.
again, we are now on the
Y'all go,
4th person that didn't
oh
take
Darius,
accountability.
A better question is, where do you
Darius, it
think we
makes
fucked up
sense.
at? Where do you think
Mando,
we?
I got it. Mando, I got it. I'm no longer talking to you. I got it. We got how you feel. We understand it.
Yeah, but
I was
So
see,
talking to
Darius,
the
can I
other
what
hop
young
you
in
man.
there
think,
too?
Darius? Darius,
Can I
what
So
hop
you
I
in
mean,
think
Darius,
there?
a
oh,
better
I,
since
question is, where do you think we fucked up at? Like,
Can
where
I
do you
hop
think
back
we?
well,
in there?
the young man alluded to it when he said like how he brushed over it real quick when he was like we wasn't upholding our end of the bargain and women got tired, and then he went to talking about women again.
what bargain?
What is our
The
job in
woman
the,
being
what is our what?
submissive.
If you're gonna ask me a question, you gotta let me talk.
To
Yeah, go ahead.
liberate the black people.
What is our job in the community as men?
Is to provide and protect.
Lead.
Yeah,
And
lead.
provide and
Well,
protect too.
all that falls under the umbrella. Don't give it other words. It's to lead.
Well, it's well,
And
bro.
Yeah,
we
I'm not
weren't,
trying to
lead.
fight with you,
and we
bro. I'm
weren't,
just
Lead
trying to.
what?
and we weren't leading. I'm not Mondo. I'm not talking to you. We already we figured out how you feel.
When,
There's no sense in me debating you. I got it.
when
We
weren't
understand how
we
you feel.
leading?
Like I'm not
When
doing that.
weren't?
Like that's crazy.
It's
Okay,
I get
Darius.
it.
Sunday. I
Okay,
want
Yo,
y'all
okay,
to wrap
Darius.
this
yo.
Okay,
conversation.
Darius.
Yeah,
Darius.
that
There,
don't
All
make
right.
sense, Mondo.
Okay,
We already
Darius.
know how you
You want
feel.
to
You've
talk
already
about
said it.
that?
No, I
so
was
wait,
talking. What you say, young man? What you say, brother?
You
so
said
Darius,
you said we stopped leading, right?
We failed at leading. Yes.
And so who's leading them
On
now?
this thing.
Would leading themselves. That's the
They
issue.
leading
well, well,
themselves.
That's the
well, Darius,
concern. I mean,
let me ask you a question, Darius. When did
Jesus
we?
Christ. Wait, y'all listen. If we're gonna talk, I can't talk to 5 people at one time.
All right, good.
Like one at like I was trying to answer him and then you try like you know what I'm saying? Like I want to talk, but I can't talk to all y'all.
All right, go ahead.
What was your question, bro? No, go ahead. What's your question?
Nah, I was asking when did we fail at leading? Like when did
Oh, I
black
think
men?
I agree with you when you
Good
said I
question,
think
Cutler.
it was
Who is that talking? I just said I had the replays on.
Oh my
Please.
bad.
Again, the question is when did we fail at leading?
I
When
mean,
did black?
I would bet probably around the late 70s, early 80s is when we started to not do shit the way we were supposed to. I hate to use the term fail because obviously there was a white hand in there that was causing shit. You know, Obviously, all the shit that y'all don't never want to hear, crack, the prisoner, school to prison pipeline, all that shit plays a role. But if our perspective of our accountability, the one thing I think we are awful at is just listening sometimes. All we want to do is blame other people. That's it. Again, the first four people to talk in this room blame women.
Well, let me ask.
We ain't responsible for nothing.
But
I
Nah,
think
nah.
that's
That's my
crazy.
that's my
But
We,
that's
we
just
question.
me.
we definitely are. My question to you, Darius, is like, do you think that something like the baby boomer silent generation existed when it came to black men? Like, do you think that they existed and they kind of played a part in not speaking up on what it was that they felt, their plights?
I hate to use the. I hate. So, I no. Yes, I do agree that the baby that obviously it existed, but
Yeah.
not speaking up. I don't know if I agree with that. Speaking up wouldn't have got you nowhere. What was it gonna do? You
Yeah.
can
Hey,
still
what's up,
you can
Darius?
still get.
Hold on.
Can I chime in? This is Curtis. Whenever I
Go ahead.
can.
Yeah, go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
Well, can I?
Yeah. So go ahead, color. I'll go after you. Go
All
ahead.
right,
No,
yeah,
no, no,
just
no, Cutler. I'm
real
sorry,
quick.
babes. I'm sorry, babes. We are going to move around just a little bit just to hear some new voices because you already had to have somebody hold your hand do this, and it's okay because it happens to the best of us. So we're just going to give you a break just so that you can collect your thoughts, and we're going to go ahead and move around to Curtis if you.
I got my thought, but yeah, Curtis got.
Yeah, really quickly. Appreciate this space. So I'll try to go quickly as I can. Why don't black men take accountability? I think the short answer is I think we view accountability as a weapon rather than a tool. It's a tool that can sharpen us as men. But it requires us to be vulnerable. It requires us to be
Yes.
transparent. And yeah, don't cut me off because I don't want to lose my thought. I appreciate that. It requires us to really be level headed and really acknowledge where we fall short. Um, and I think without accountability, men can't be men. Therefore, we can't lead. Um, I know growing up, my father wasn't around, and I knew I needed some mentorship. I knew I needed a male figure in my life because I just felt that desire because I knew if I wanted to go in certain places in life that I needed support and I needed guidance from older, wiser men. And that's what I did. I made the decision to join a frat. And it's interesting because one of the things that I learned about being in a frat is that when men come together and they stand for certain principles, and even for our principles for Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, somebody got a hot mic. Um, the principles are brotherhood, scholarship, and service. Look it up. And I think, and I'm using that example because when men come together and they stand for something that's beyond themselves, something powerful happens. So I think we as men need to invest in whatever those principles are that's going to really help our communities thrive. Because once we subscribe to whatever those principles are, our women are going to survive, and not only survive, they're going to thrive. Our children are going to thrive. But the only way that's going to happen is if we first allow accountability to function the way it needs to function, which is, like I said, it's a tool. I think the reason why, and I'm gonna close here, I think the reason why we don't do it is because a lot of us, we're egotistical, we're prideful, we don't like to admit when we're wrong because we're trying to put up a facade, which a lot of times we don't really believe we're that person. We don't really believe we're that guy. We're putting up this facade to impress other men, to impress women, and that's to our detriment as individuals and as men. So I'm gonna close there, but it's really the short of it is that we don't think it's a tool. We don't think it's helpful at all. That's why we don't want to be accountable. We think it's a detriment, but it's really a tool to build us up to what we're called to be. And that's just kind of what it is. But I'm gonna close there.
Hey, I just want to say a real man got to be accountable every day. Like, it ain't no sleeping. So I don't really say I get up and do what I got to do and everything, take care of my house and everything. I'm being accountable for everything I do when I